This is Andy Matthews with MeepleMountain.com, and we are at day 2 of Gen Con 50. I'm here with JC at the Foxmind booth, and we're going to find out some of the titles that Foxmind has coming out today. All right, JC, take it away.
So many things to talk about. First would be Head of Mousehold. It's a deduction game lasting about from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and it's a game where the second mouse gets the cheese. Yeah,
love it.
As simple as that. You have mouse traps, you have mouse under the traps that try and grab the cheese, and depending on the color of the cards, the order changes up. You have events that change in the house, and you have 5 different mouse clans that battle each other to get the cheese. And the way you play is actually you have small mice meeples, and those give indications to the other player which colors you have in your hand.
All right.
But those cards are hidden from the other players. So they don't know. They know the color, but they don't know which kind of cards you have.
All right, so there's a little bit of deduction as well.
Exactly.
Very cool.
So you play 5 rounds of the mouse being under the traps, and then when you set up the order with all the mouse lined up, you know which one is out, and you know which one survives. So at the end of the game, some players might have no mouse remaining in their hand. So as you go along, you will lose some mouse. So Head of Mousehold is a deduction game. A first-time designer called Adam Weiss, who will have more games coming out in next year or so.
I'm really excited about it personally. I think the graphic design and the art is beautiful, and I really like the mechanics. It seems really interesting. What's next?
We have an old Alex Randolph game. It's a classic that has been re-edited, and now it's called Museum Heist.
Okay.
So originally, the game was meant as a 2-player abstract game, but now it's a 2 to 4 player with the museum team where you have 7 shady characters trying to get the artwork token. So there's an artwork token on the board.
Yeah.
You move your character closer to the artwork token, but the twist of the game is that each player selects a character on the board without telling anyone. So you try to reach the artwork token without getting caught. So if I'm able to tell which color or which character you are, then you're I'm winning the token and you're out of the game basically.
Okay.
So you play a couple of rounds of that. If we're 3 or 4 players, the first who has 3 tokens wins the game, and if we play a 2-player game, it would be 4 tokens. So this one involves strategic movement, so you move a bit like Chinese checkers, and then it involves also a lot of bluffing. It's a pure bluffing mechanism, and so far here at Gen Con we've had a lot of people coming around and playing it, and they're surprised by the tension build up by the bluffing effect as you come closer to the artwork token is really special in a way, because people look into each other's eye and say, okay, are you the blue character or you're not? The decision is really important there. You need to guess. Is he bluffing or is he the blue character, and can I accuse him of being that blue character and win the token?
Nice. Yeah. Sounds really clever. All right, what else you have?
We have another game called Slide Blast. If people like Tsuro or Indigo, it's in the same line of these games, but it's meant to be a perfect summer family game.
Okay.
The way it works out is instead of stabbing into each other's back when you collide into each other and then you get someone buffed off the game, you cannot collide into a water park. The team is a water park, so no slider can collide into each other. The goal of the game is actually to build the longest slide. And the most interesting part of the game is actually that if you help someone else slide, so if you have a meeple and the other meeple is beside it and you place a tile and both slide, the player gets bonus tokens at the end.
So helping each other out.
Yeah, so it adds up to the total score in the end. And you have special tiles, those related to aquatic parks. So you have attraction tiles, you have high-speed tiles, so you play that tile and you can play another one afterwards. So you really have the feel of being into the water park, and at the end, the visuals are pretty good, so you have really the impression of having built some kind of big attraction. So kids and families easily relate to this aspect of the board game. Creating a water park is quite cool.
That's awesome. I just went to a water park a couple days ago, so right up my alley. All right, what else do you have?
Another game we have since last November, and that won this week the best the best game in Denmark. It's best family game. The author comes from Denmark. It's called Match Madness, and it's a pattern matching game. So it's blocks that you need to match a certain pattern, and what's good about the blocks is they are in 3D. So in 3D you have the sense of doing a Rubik's Cube, but you have multiple blocks. So you need to move them around and figure out the shape, and you have 5 different levels of play. And the way you play the game with the 4 people is you lay out different levels of difficulty, and people choose which one they want to do. But people race to do the card. So once a card is done, it's out of the game. You need to start over. So if you do level 5 and you get more points at the end, but you might have a hard time doing the level 5.
Right.
So you need to decide which level you are and what are you capable of doing within a limited amount of time.
Now, does each player have their own set of cubes?
Yes, we add each.
Nice.
Yeah, own set of cubes. It's five blocks, if you will.
Okay, yeah.
And you can play a solo game, and you can play up to 4 players. If you have multiple games, it could go beyond the 4-player version.
That sounds awesome. Now, do you have anything else?
We have the baseball and Brew Dice games.
Right.
And those two are pretty fun because they're adrenaline driven. It's all about dice rolling, and then they're perfect for events, board game cafes, playing outside at the restaurant. So you basically roll the dice, the best score of them all, depending on the game, the Brew Dice and the Sports Dice Baseball wins the outcome, and you really have a feel of rolling frenetically, and you don't want to stop playing, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds really great. Well, you have anything else then?
That's about it for now.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough for now.
Well, very cool. JC, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you very
and
much.
I wish you guys the best. All right.
Thank you.
All right, this is Andy Matthews with MeepleMountain.com at the Foxmind booth. If you'd like more information about the games that we just talked about, check the description below.